And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Of course, busy day of shows. And yeah, we're snowed in, but you know what? It's a good reason to put out all the entertainment, all the great artists out there, too. KKTC, True Country, 99.9. You catch the show coming up here in just a little over an hour, which will be 5 to 6 Mountain Time there on 99.9. You can stream it on Angel Fire Broadcasting and via the LMNOC streaming app. We're powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com and, of course, presented by our friends over at the CadenGordonShow.com. Today's best country mix. And I tell you what, she's got a country mix and then some. The album came out there last week, All I Own, across all those digital streaming platforms. We're going to play the video today for 16 Miles, which is fantastic new music. And every time she reaches out, we're like, we got to have her. One of the hardest working ladies I know in country music. Jessica Lynn, my friend, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you. You know, snowed in Texas. Isn't that weird? I mean, you're used to that in the north.
New York is usual. Today it's 8 degrees. That's fun.
But, you know, up there, upstate New York and all the good stuff up there, they're used to that. I mean, like Texas, Gulf Coast, and we got like 4 to 5 inches, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
And it's like the thick stuff. It's real thick, you know, up here on the ground, all that fluffy stuff out there. Hey, just tell me how, strong finish to 2024 for your camp. And, of course, already off to a great start here for 2025, this brand new album. All I Own across all the digital streaming platforms. Tell me about just the start for 2025 and what you're most looking forward to this year.
Man, 2025, we hit the ground running. I think I'm making up for lost time from having surgery last year. Mm-hmm. We already have the whole Christmas tour almost booked. We have all our European tour settled. We're working on USA dates. I already wrote a ton of new songs from the start of the new year. It's been a whirlwind. It really has been.
Yeah, talk about just finishing up 2024. You know, you guys as artists, when you plan this with the teams out there, you know, the promotions, the marketing, the picking of songs, the writing of songs, you know, what makes the album, what doesn't. Talk about just how hard that is to push toward the end of the year and then look forward to goals coming up, because there's never really a day off in this industry.
No, I don't remember the last time I've had a day off. I don't even know what that is. You know, I think it's your career. Just like if you're an entrepreneur, which I am, you know, your work is never done. You don't clock out at 5 and you're like, okay, done for the day. There's always more to do. There's always another country to conquer. There's always a better song to write. There's always a bigger tour to have. You know, you're always chasing something, which is good and bad. Sometimes it's good to just slow down the pace a little bit, but that's hard for people like me. But yes, I think it just keeps me motivated, all the exciting things and seeing hard work pay off, really.
When you look at this album, talk about just the body of work. Just came out last week on Friday the 17th right there too, looking back, and love the title track, All I Own, and just the body of work, the selection of songs, and this entire catalog is fantastic. I love it.
Thanks so much. This record is something I'm really proud of. It's something that is very authentic and genuinely me. It was music that I wanted to make because I wanted to make it, not because I wanted it to fit in anywhere or fit into any type of box or mold. And it's really funny because when you truly are yourself, I feel like that's when the most doors open for you.
It does, and I'm beginning to see and just getting that feeling over the past few years of doing this show that, man, it's really cool to see, like, just country music, the writers out there, give them a lot of credit too for the songs that are, you know, getting pitched to you guys, or you writing your own material. But looking back out there, man, just a great selection of songs that really tell a lot of great stories. And I think these songs are something, and even your past work has been too, but these songs become more personal and they're like your babies. But at the same time, they really give fans a reason to, you know, kind of reach out there and listen to something that really just not only sounds good, but it tells a great story. Talk about that in country music and just telling stories.
Thanks. Well, that's what drew me to country. Everyone always says, an Italian New Yorker, what drew you to country music? And it was the stories. I specifically remember being extremely touched as a kid. Don't Laugh at Me, Mark Wills, and Austin by Blake Shelton. Those two songs really struck me hard. Like, wow, what country music can do. And I think that always stuck with me, and it's what made me want to pursue the genre.
It really does, and that storytelling is a big aspect of it. Talk about the title track out there, too, for this album when it comes down to it, for Bet on It, because I think this is something we all find ourselves in when it comes to career moves, career paths. Could be marriage, could be divorce, could be anything out there. Could be any example looking at it, too. But sometimes that's the road we have to pave for ourselves, and I think your song summed it up, right?
things. So at first listen, when you listen to this record, you probably think the songs are about, an ex or a cheating ex, maybe for Bet On It, or something about you, a love story, or songs about just life or loss. But every single song actually has a dual meaning about the music industry. So Bet On It is my critique of the music industry, how snaky people can be, and how many times I've gotten screwed. And that I've always come out on the other side, no matter how hard I've gotten kicked down. Like, my favorite lines in the song is, for every king and queen, I've got an ace up my sleeve, you can bet on it. And it's been a hard road, but I've somehow always managed to get back up after getting kicked down.
It's got 10 great songs out there, too. Make sure you guys go stream it out there across all the DSPs. All right, Something About You. We got to go to track number 2 off of there, too, because I love breaking down these single ones that come out, too. And, again, just telling some amazing stories out there, but just something you can kind of, move to at the same time, and just really that personal aspect of it. We all kind of feel that that's something about someone out there, right?
Yeah, so this was written about my husband, who was my best friend before he became my boyfriend, fiance, and then husband. We've been together 14 years, married for 8. Time goes so fast. I really can't believe it. So it's a love story. It's that time of adventure, when you're first falling in love with somebody, where everything is magical and everything is new, and it's like this magic carpet ride through this just very warm and fuzzy feeling. But then also on the other side, it's also a love story to all of my fans and the people that have been there, and to live music. So if you listen to the lyrics with those glasses, you can definitely hear that. And that's why, there's nothing like being at live music and being a part of that and feeling that energy. And the song is also about that. And that's why we released the music video, which you can see on YouTube. It's a tour documentary style music video to pay tribute to what it's about.
Yeah, Scotty, talk about just the tours. You and I have been texting over the past few weeks. I'm excited for you because going to Africa here in just another few weeks, and just so many big tours. You touched on that a little bit at the top, but I love this because massive. And like I said, you're one of the most underrated songwriters and underrated superstars out there, just in my book out there. It's my opinion. I'm sure a lot of the fans can agree with me too as well. She's a tremendous singer-songwriter. I've got to get to one of her live shows one day here, get down to Texas and enjoy that. Maybe put the bus on the road and come to a concert there, 38-foot coach, and get out there too and interview her before she takes the stage out there. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll do that, which is good. But talk about the performances and the tour schedule and getting that, like I said, that work, just behind you, and now getting a chance to line out all the particulars, get on stage, and perform for the audience.
Well, last year was the busiest year we've ever had. We were in Asia. We were overseas with the military. I spent the 4th of July at Guantanamo Bay, which was an experience I'll never forget. We did a huge European tour, a big U.S. tour, then the Christmas tour. We were everywhere. So this year should be just as big. But I would like to spend a little bit more time home this year to just write and focus on music and not be so go, 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 because this past year I was on a flight every week and a half from May until end of October. So it was just a really tiring year, but an exciting year. And I'm just curious to see what this year brings, because it's never expected.
Never is, too. And, before we played the music video, 16 Miles from the album All I Own out there across all the DSPs. Talk about just the female category right now for country music. I've never seen it this just massive and strong. So many ladies like yourself doing their thing out there. I know we touched on this in past shows we've done. Lainey Wilson, Ashley McBride, Carly Pierce, Hannah Ellis, Ashley Cook. The names go on and on, too. They're picking great songs, but also they're awesome performers. And I think this is really cool to see the ladies finally getting their kind of due diligence. Would you agree?
I agree. It's time. For so long, country music was dominated by the guys, and there wasn't really room for the ladies, but there's so many incredible performers out there. And I'm a big Lainey Wilson fan. And I remember the first time, I know she's been grinding for a very long time, but the first time I saw her, I remember being like, wow, her performance is incredible. And it's just been really exciting to see kind of the rise of the women again.
Yeah, no doubt. Love the rise of the ladies, and of course the rise of this music video that came out last week. And I love this when we get a chance to premiere it here, if you will, on the Backstage Pass. And, of course, KKTC True Country 99.9. We're going to take a quick time out for the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix, and come right back at 16 Miles, the music video from the beautifully talented Jessica Lynn here, KKTC True Country 99.9, and powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. It is the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned. Music video coming up.
The Caden Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thecadengordonshow.com. Again, that is thecadengordonshow.com.
My pocket with a guitar slung and a song in mind. Yeah, the sun is hot, but it ain't enough to phase me. Got 'em rose-colored glasses to protect my eyes. There ain't enough water, I can get my feeling. There ain't enough time in the day. I'm running on fumes of empty promises, and dreaming is my name. Can I get an amen? Can I get a heaven sent? Can I get a prayer answered here, hanging on my knees? I'm about to start begging, please. 16 miles of dirt, you gotta sift through the mud, you gotta sift through the hurt. 16 miles of dirt, ain't nothing gonna break me if I break me first. But there ain't no one to hear me. I'm a wandering soul searching for him. Man, this road is long, but my mama didn't raise no quitter. Here I stand. Can I get an amen? Can I get a heaven sent? Can I get a prayer answered here, hanging on my knees? I'm about to start begging, please. 16 miles of dirt, you gotta sift through the mud, you gotta sift through the hurt. 16 miles of dirt, ain't nothing gonna break me if I break me first. Can I get a prayer answered here, hanging on my knees? I'm about to start begging, please. 16 miles of dirt, you gotta sift through the mud, you gotta sift through the hurt. 16 miles of dirt, ain't nothing gonna break me. Come on. 16 miles of dirt, you gotta sift through the mud, you gotta sift through the hurt. 16 miles of dirt, ain't nothing gonna break me if I break me first.
The Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
And back here with the beautifully and talented Jessica Lynn here on the Backstage Pass, again powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Let's sum it up right there. Fantastic. I loved every minute of shooting that video, 16 miles off the current record, All I Own. Let's dive right into it because a lot of fun to put the vocals down and I'm sure shoot that music video, right?
It was. You know, I wanted to make a music video that really meant something. And the story behind 16 Miles is to always have faith. You know, we all struggle. We all have different struggles. But there's always light at the end of that tunnel. And if you keep believing, you'll always be okay.
I love that. And the faith is everything we do. Also off there, let's dive into the title track for this record, All I Own, too, because this was one of your most streamed ones so far that I've seen at the same time all over across social media. And the storytelling of this one I love a lot, too.
Thanks. So All I Own was one of my favorite tracks off the record, and it was also just a nice memory writing it. I'm very good friends with Devin Allman of the Allman Brothers family, and I had flew out to the St. Louis area to hang out with him for a weekend and do some songwriting. And one of his guitar players in his band was hanging out. And Devin had some meetings and stuff to do. So we're like, hey, you want to write together? And we just hung out in his living room, playing his awesome guitars. And that song is what came. So it's just a really nice memory of a really nice trip with good friends. And it's about just giving all you own. That's why I decided to name the record that, because I really gave it all that I had. And again, no matter if it's music you're talking about, career, a person, it's a really emotional thing to think about.
Yeah, and it's, again, music takes you on those rides, man, those ups and those downs, and hopefully more ups and downs at the same time. But again, it's that resonating that and telling those stories too at the same time. Let's go across the pond there in England. Always love David when he tunes in. Hi, Jessica, watching from Cumbria in England. I'm a big fan of your music. Jessica, my favorite song of yours is Better Than That. Which songs do you enjoy singing the most? I like that. Good question.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs too. And funny story, that's the very first song I ever wrote when I came to Nashville. And I signed my publishing deal. So that's a special one to me. And I love the soul aspect and the Motown-like aspect of that song. What song do I enjoy singing the most? That's hard because it depends on my mood. I love doing Roadhouse Live. That's such a fun song. That's how we always end the shows. But I don't know. I have to say that Better Than That's probably one of my favorite songs to sing because it's just easy and cool.
Mm-hmm. Hey, when you're out there doing acoustic or just your full band shows, when it comes to just some covers that you guys can normally kind of just have pop up as a band or something like that, your favorite covers, give me some of those to play.
Oh, that's easy. So I always choose covers that no one would expect. My favorite cover that we do in the show is Johnny Be Good. I love that old style classic rock and roll. And it's just so much fun. And everybody around it, it's a global sensation hit. So no matter where we are in the world, everybody knows it, which is always fun too.
One of the best of all time. Hey, take me back a little bit to Lone Rider. Let's relive it a couple of years ago because I think you and I first met, or maybe a year before that too. But I loved just songs that kick off records that make it just up tempo and have fun. Now or Never, which is really cool. Of course, that title track and just the catalog of songs that you put out there too for Lone Rider. Give me some best memories now that it's a couple of years old. Actually, 3 years old. Yeah.
Man, memories for that. There's so many because it was created during the pandemic. So it was kind of like, let's do this and see what happens type of thing. But really, I guess my memories of creating that were just special because it was all I had at the time. I was putting all my eggs in that basket really because we couldn't tour, we couldn't do anything. And a lot of emotion went into that record because all of my pent up frustration and sadness all went into the making of those songs.
I love Robert says he loves when you perform the Run Run Rudolph out there too. So.
Oh, thanks. That's also one of my favorites. And again, because it's that Chuck Berry style.
We just finished all the Christmas holidays too. Probably spent too much as everybody does each and every year when it comes down to it. We're like, oh, we're going to stick to a budget. What budget? We don't stick to that. For you, how did the holidays go? What did you do? Spend it with husband, family? Tell me what was on the menu, all that good stuff.
We spent it with thousands of families across the East Coast. We were on the Christmas tour from before Thanksgiving to Christmas Eve. So it was the largest tour we've ever done. It was extremely special. We made so many memories, but the tree did not go up in my house until Christmas Day.
I just took mine down today. Would you believe that?
Did
yes. It just stayed up till middle of late January. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, snowed in. There was nothing else to do down here. You're like, well, you can't really go outside. It's cold, and each night has gotten below freezing. The last couple of nights, we're just ready for it to thaw out. We're like, okay, leave it up another couple of days. It's not going to really hurt anything out there. Hey, let me ask you this one. Have a little fun. If you were not a working musician, and we probably talked about this on previous shows that we've done, what other career path would you have chosen?
I have a master's degree in special education and a bachelor's degree in mathematics and adolescent ed. So I'm certified to teach grades 5th through 12th, math or special ed. So I would definitely be a teacher.
Well, that's right. It's because we became great friends right there, too, at the same time. And I love it because so much is in there when it comes down to the special education. It takes a special person with a special heart to be able to do that too at the same time. Again, Jessica Lynn, All I Own, across the current digital streaming platforms out there. Make sure you guys go ramp it up and give it all you got out there too at the same time. Love that one. Which is Bet on It, is that title track off of there too at the same time. All right, give me some things. You mentioned 2025. Everybody says New Year's resolutions. It could be anything from personal side to, like I said, career, things like that. You guys already have a lot of great things planned. But is there something personally for you out there too when it comes to New Year's resolutions you're most looking forward to?
Yeah, so my New Year's resolution was to try to go easier on myself. I am a Capricorn. I am a workaholic. I will get on the laptop at 7 a.m. and not log off until 11 p.m. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. My high is success.
Mm-hmm.
I am driven by it. I just love it. There's nothing to me like the feeling of achieving your goals. And sometimes I can take that to the extreme, and it's why I've been successful, but it's why I've also gotten quite beat up over the years. So my New Year's resolution was work hard, love what you do, but also take time for your family, for your friends. Try to log off at a decent time so that that's not 100% of my day. So I'm working really hard at it.
Yeah, and through that story you told right there too, I mean, self-care becomes a huge important part of what we're doing right here too, because a lot of artists that I know, including myself too, I'm a workaholic too at the same time. I'll start at a certain time and my wife's like, get off, come eat the lunch or dinner or whatever, or go to the gym at a certain time, which I work out later sometimes in the morning. But that self-care to ease the mind, to do what you have to do, that becomes very important, right? Especially doing what you do, right?
Yeah, I mean, you burn yourself out and then you get sick, and then I can't do any of the things that I work so hard at if I'm sick anyway, as a singer. So it's a hard lesson to learn, but I think it's really an important one. And I learned that a lot from traveling internationally. Honestly, like here in America, everybody's on their phone at every meal, and it's a quick meal and then it's right back to what you're doing. In Europe, it's not uncommon to sit there for 4 hours, for lunch or dinner, and you don't see a phone in sight. Everybody just spends time together. And I think getting to experience all these different cultures and things like that have really opened my eyes to what life can be like if you slow down a little bit.
That's what I've had to do, no doubt about it. Slow down is those key words for 2025 so far. And, of course, the shows, they'll be out there, too, the sportsguyspodcast.com. And, of course, out there, too, KKTC, True Country, 99.9 across all those digital streaming platforms, too. All right, when in Nashville, let's have a little fun with this. I know some of the places you and I have texted before, you're like, try this. One of the ones this year for CRS that I absolutely have to have is this Bar Taco. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've never been there. But for you, like, night on the town, just to go eat somewhere, if it's you and the hubby, where do you guys like to kind of dine in when it comes to places to eat?
I love Indian food. That's one of my favorite foods. I also eat vegan 99% of the time. So it can be challenging finding places to eat, especially on tour. But I have to say Indian. My favorite place is called Jaipur. It's over here in Putnam County, New York. And they just got on DoorDash, which has been very, very dangerous for me.
Everybody needs to be a part of DoorDash these days when it comes down to it. That's becoming more and more normal.
When I saw it come up, I was so excited, but also like, no, because I used to have to drive to go there, and now it's like way too accessible.
All right, when it comes down to, I guess, songs that you're listening to, either iPad, iPod, whatever's out there these days, streaming, any other kind of the newer artists you're getting into? You mentioned Lainey and some other ones, but there's so many out there right now that they're kind of doing their thing. Who else are you getting into?
I was very drawn to Ella Langley too. She just has a cool vibe. Like, I love that the artists coming out now are different. That has been my biggest critique of the country music industry the last few years, that everybody was copying each other all the time. Now you have such individuality in artists coming out, which I think is really, really cool. And funny enough, somehow I'm caught in a love triangle with her and Riley Green. This big Yahoo article came out about how are they dating, but he's also been known to date country artist Jessica Lynn. And I'm like, what? Where did this even come from?
I got to check those reports on the internet out there too. Like I said, when it comes Comes
I'm
down
not
to
agreeing anyone. He's a handsome guy and happily married.
what you read is not always true out there too. At the same time, love it so much. All right, give me some toppings that go on a Jessica Lynn pizza when it comes down to. You mentioned vegan. I remember that in the past, but occasional meats out there, carnivore.
No, so no cheese. I get no cheese on my pizza. and I love veggies, obviously. So I love mushrooms, olives. I have an onion allergy, fun fact. So I can't, which makes eating very difficult sometimes because everything has onions in it. Soup, I mean, you name it. So I have to be very careful. But yeah, like mushroom, olive, eggplant, pizza with cheese.
All right, I love this one too because nobody's probably ever asked you this. What I'm about to ask you now, and I got this from a buddy of mine, Christian Bush, came on the other day. We're on half of Sugarland. We were talking a little bit, and Christian was talking about he had this beard going on, kind of thick beard. I can never match him too because I can't grow one that thick too. And I told him, I said, man, it's a lovable, it's fun out there to have it. But he reminded me so much of that WWE wrestling, and it was Triple H, who's like I said, I've been a huge fan of that for years. So if Jessica Lynn could wrestle anybody in country music, male or female. Now, look, we put the ring out there, and one of the things that I want to do is like a backstage pass wrestling kind of kick off, the first one ever to be done in Nashville live there. We could get the ring, get in touch with somebody. I know some wrestlers in my phone because you meet a lot of people doing these shows, these podcasts. And so if we could choreograph the whole thing, teach you what you need to know, who would you get in the ring with? Who would you have fun to wrestle? And what would be your finishing move, Jessica?
I have no idea. You want me to repeat? Maybe I should ask you, who would you want me to wrestle?
Who do I want you to wrestle? Let's see. That's a good one there because there's so many good ones to choose. What about a wrestling match between Jessica Lynn and Ashley Cook?
Okay, that would be interesting. She looks pretty tough, though. I do work out every day, but I don't know.
And then the finishing move, could we do like a flying elbow from the top rope? Would that be okay?
That I could do. I could definitely do that.
I love that so much. And Kenny, yep, gotta love half pineapples, LOL. He was saying there too for the pizza out there too. Hey, you mean so much to me and my brand. I love it so much. It's always good to tease and have fun with questions like that too. Make you smile, make you laugh. You guys work so hard. Y'all do so many of these interviews out there too to promote some great music. All I own across all those digital streaming platforms. Make sure you go check it out. And you guys can download the music wherever you like to download and stream out there for the beautifully talented Jessica Lynn. Check her out on the website. And, of course, all the merch out there, too, and the tour schedule coming up there across everywhere out there across the United States and, of course, overseas coming up there. Make sure you guys get those tickets if you're in the area. Hey, always appreciate you dropping by. I was one of my favorites here on the platform to get in here. Continued success going forward, and Happy New Year. And stay warm because I know upstate there getting a lot of snow, and down here in Texas, a lot of snow down here. And would love to catch up with you when you get back from this tour, and would great to see you in person. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks. Same here. I'll start working on my elbow.
Well, that goes. And be sure to send me some pictures from this upcoming tour out there. The beautifully talented Jessica Lynn here, KKTC True Country 99.9, the new album, All I Own, across all those digital streaming platforms. And, of course, out there, too, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. If you missed the video interview, the audio interview is coming out here tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that here on KKTC True Country 99.9, presented by our friends at the CadenGordonShow.com. Today's best country mix. And, of course, out there, 5 to 6 coming up here in just a little while on KKTC True Country 99.9 in Taos, New Mexico. Angel Fire Broadcasting and via the LMNOC streaming app. Go get the album, All I Own. And, of course, we're back tomorrow. Surprise show. You might not want to miss that. One of the biggest names in the acting industry coming here on the show. We'll tease it coming up tonight. And, of course, the Astros and other Caravans coming up here to town, to Beaumont, coming up there, and some more great shows. Next week, the beautiful Bronwyn Keith Hines is going to stop by. And, of course, the Los Lonely Boys coming right here to the backstage pass here in just a few weeks. One of the biggest bands we grew up with out there, too. We'll see you on the flip side here, KKTC True Country 99.9. And, of course, out there, too, across all the digital streaming platforms, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. Until then, take care. God bless. See you soon. And on the other side, turn on that Jessica Lynn music. You will not regret it. Take care.